From Constitution Avenue in Washington, D.C., welcome to the 2013 National Memorial Day Parade. And now, please welcome the 200 Voice Memorial Day Festival Chorus under the direction of Cindy Petty, with special appearance by acclaimed Irish tenor Anthony Kearns. Welcome to the 2013 National Memorial Day Parade with Grand Marshal J.R. Martinez, Honorary Grand Marshal Country Superstar Trace Atkins, Honorary Celebrity Marshals Gary Sinise and Joe Mantegna, and a special tribute to military families featuring Honorary Grand Marshals Army veterans Robert Griffin Jr., Jacqueline Griffin, and their son, Redskins quarterback Robert Griffin III. Plus hundreds of decorated veterans and active duty personnel, with performances by Miss America 2013, Mallory Hagan, American Idol winner Taylor Hicks, special correspondent Miss America 2008, Kirsten Hagland, all in honor of those who have sacrificed for our freedom. It's coming to you from Constitution Avenue. And now, please welcome your hosts, Autria Godfrey and Dave Lucas.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Constitution Avenue in the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., for the American Veterans Center's 9th Annual National Memorial Day Parade. Great to have you along. I'm Dave Lucas.
And I'm Autria Godfrey. A big welcome to all of our viewers joining us today. In addition to airing in cities all across the United States, this broadcast will also be carried to our troops watching around the world on the Pentagon Channel and American Forces Network and streamed live on military.com.
Now, the National Memorial Day Parade was inaugurated back in 2005 as a family-friendly event to call attention to the real meaning of Memorial Day, honoring those who've made the ultimate sacrifice to preserve our freedoms. Today's parade will include special tributes to the men and women who have served and sacrificed throughout our country's history, from the American Revolution to the current generation who served in Iraq and Afghanistan.
And this year's parade will honor the service and sacrifices of the United States Army. The Army will commemorate its 238th birthday on June 14th. Now, on that date in 1775, the Continental Congress voted to adopt the Revolutionary Forces confronting the British in Boston, formally creating an army and giving its command to General George Washington. Of course, there's a lot to cover today, and to help us streetside is former Miss America, Kirsten Hagland. Hello, Kirsten.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is so great to be back here for my second year. As you can see, there's a huge crowd here, as there always is for the National Memorial Day Parade. I'll be bringing you coverage from the route and talking to some very special guests. Now, back to you, Dave and Autria.
All right, Kirsten, thanks so much. Hey, let's have a parade.
Perfect day for a parade. And as the parade is kicking off here on Constitution Avenue, we have a very special guest that will be joining us a little bit later on. We have, as we said earlier, superstar Trace Atkins. First, we want to talk about what's coming down Constitution Ave right now, Dave.
As is tradition, the lead banner is making its way down Constitution, signaling the official kickoff of the parade. A special thank you to all of the young Marines, the JROTC students, and the hundreds of volunteers who are part of this parade.
And we want to give a special thank you to the American Veterans Center for organizing today's parade and for bringing this tradition back here to Washington, D.C. Until the parade's founding in 2005, Washington had been without the tradition of a Memorial Day parade for nearly 70 years.
There's a lot of sponsors that are part of this great event. We'd like to thank some of them right now. Visit MyrtleBeach.com, the Nation of Kuwait, American Airlines, Military.com, Military Order of the Purple Heart Service Foundation, the Washington Examiner, State Farm, Wells Fargo,
Now, here's a special part of the parade. This is always the lead element in it. It's that riderless horse, a solemn moment honoring all those who've died in service to our country and reminding us the real meaning of Memorial Day. Maybe you remember Blackjack, the famous horse that led the cortege for President Kennedy back in 1963, and also a similar one for President Reagan.
It's always real sombering to see that image, Dave. It reminds you just how much these men and women have truly given for the freedoms that we enjoy today. And we are honored to welcome the Ceremonial Honor Guard, consisting of marching platoons from each branch of the armed forces. These platoons are under the order of Joint Force Headquarters, National Capital Region, Military District of Washington.
Hello, everyone. I'm Major General Mike Limington, Commander of the U.S. Army's Military District of Washington. On behalf of all of the men and women in the United States Army and the entire Joint Force stationed here in the National Capital Region, I'd like to welcome everyone to Washington, D.C. and today's Memorial Day Parade. We are proud to represent our nation's military in today's parade, and a warm salute goes out to all of our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen stationed around the world. Enjoy today's parade. Army strong.
General, many thanks. There are a number of platoons from each branch of the armed forces, including the U.S. Army, the Marines, Navy, Air Force, and the Coast Guard.
And now the Army's Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps from the 3rd United States Infantry Regiment. The Old Guard is the only musical unit of its kind in the United States Armed Forces. They are always a crowd pleaser here in the nation's capital, as they appear in uniforms patterned after those worn by musician in General George Washington's Continental Army.
And now, please welcome the Grand Marshal of this year's National Memorial Day Parade, J.R. Martinez. Actor, author, motivational speaker, and Army veteran. The past 2 years have been quite something. Not only did he take the Dancing with the Stars Mirror Ball Trophy, but he served as the 2012 Tournament of Roses Grand Marshal.
The Grand Marshal of this year's parade, J.R. Martinez. He's an actor, an author, motivational speaker, an Army veteran. This is a busy guy. But for the past 2 years, not only did he take Dancing with the Stars and the Mirror Ball Trophy that goes with it, he was also the Tournament of Roses Grand Marshal.
Now, back in 2003, he was deployed to Iraq, and on April 5th, he was driving a Humvee in Karbala when his left front tire hit a roadside palm. The 3 other soldiers were ejected from the burning vehicle, but Martinez was trapped inside and suffered smoke inhalation and severe burns across his body. JR says that while he was fighting for his life and awaiting seeking medical help, his sister Annabelle appeared to him, giving him the strength to live.
No question that JR's experience was life-changing, but he says it was a change for the better. This year's parade pays particular tribute to the sacrifices made by our military families, the unsung heroes of our military. Behind every service member stand family members who share the weight of all those deployments. Now, leading this special tribute as honorary Grand Marshals, one of our nation's most recognizable military families, Army veterans Robert Griffin Jr., Jacqueline Griffin, and their son, NFL superstar Robert Griffin III.
And as they make their way down Constitution Ave, you can hear the crowd and realize that they recognize that superstar from the Washington Redskins. Robert Jr. and Jacqueline are both retired Army sergeants, having been stationed around the country and around the world, including Okinawa, Japan, where Robert Griffin III was born. They would later move to Texas, where Robert Jr. served as a psychological counselor, working with soldiers at Fort Hood, returning from deployment in Iraq. The core principles of the Army have played a major role in shaping Robert Griffin III, who would win the Heisman Trophy in 2011 before being drafted by the Washington Redskins. And he is universally regarded as one of the best young leaders in the National Football League. Continuing in the parade's tribute to military families are some very special guests, family members of military personnel who have died while in service to our country.
They're riding and walking alongside a float made possible by the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors. That's better known as TAPS. The families are walking in honor of their lost loved ones. TAPS provides comfort and care to anyone grieving the death of someone who died while serving. And we welcome them sincerely to the parade as living examples of the true meaning of Memorial Day. All throughout today's parade, we're going to be spotlighting the stories of fallen heroes with the Honoring American Sacrifice. It's made possible by visitmyrtlebeach.com.
And this first profile features the story of Navy hero of Pearl Harbor, Dory Miller.
When his ship was attacked at Pearl Harbor, December 7, 1941, Miller immediately leaped into action, manning a machine gun and helping to evacuate comrades, for which he would be awarded the Navy Cross as one of America's first heroes of World War II. 2 years later, his ship was sunk and he was lost at sea. But to this day, Dory Miller remains one of the U.S. Navy's legendary names. The National Memorial Day Parade is sponsored by VisitMyrtleBeach.com, America's most affordable beach destination, and by the American Veterans Center, protecting the legacy and honoring the sacrifice of our veterans. For more information, visit AmericanVeteransCenter.org.
There's a place where past vacation memories are talked about and shared for a lifetime, where new experiences never disappoint, and where the only thing better than visiting is coming back again. Visit Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. 60 miles of picture-perfect beachline will take your breath away, but leave your wallet happy, because you shouldn't have to sacrifice on your family vacation. Visit Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Experience so much more for so much less, and leave with memories to last a lifetime.
Oh, hey, Mike. What are you up to?
Just diagramming this accident with my State Farm Pocket Agent app. You can also get a quote and pay your premium with this thing.
I thought State Farm didn't have all those apps.
Where'd you hear that?
The internet.
And you believed it?
Yeah. They can't put anything on the internet that isn't true.
Where'd you hear that? The internet.
Oh, look. Here comes my date. I met him on the internet. He's a French model.
Bonjour.
State Farm. More mobile than ever. Get to a better state.
One Little Joint Supplement. You know this powerful little pill is great for your joints,
It even has powerful benefits to help increase your mobility and flexibility. But the joint supplements of today are sadly incomplete because they don't give you the joint relief you need. Introducing the complimentary 2-week sample of Instaflex, our most powerful joint formula ever. The only thing our complimentary sample of Instaflex is missing is the price. Because right now, we're offering adults a complimentary 2-week sample as part of a nationwide giveaway. Call and claim your sample today. 1-800-913-2586. Great for powerful relief of joint discomfort in your knees, hands, and even your hips. Instaflex is available at GNC, Vitamin World, and Rite Aid pharmacies. But you can only get your complimentary 2-week sample by calling 1-800-913-2586. Call now for your 2-week Instaflex sample. 1-800-913-2586.
The National Memorial Day Parade is sponsored by Wells Fargo, providing financial services to our country's military personnel since 1956. By Military.com, connecting you to all of the benefits of service. And by Geico, proudly serving those who serve since 1936.
I'm Jim Roberts, president of the American Veterans Center, sponsor of the annual National Memorial Day Parade held here in our nation's capital. I invite all of you watching to become full participants in this broadcast as we honor those who have laid down their lives in the defense of our country, from Valley Forge to Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan, and more to honor our veterans and all those who serve in uniform, dispersed as they are all around the globe defending our freedoms. As you enjoy this first holiday of the summer season in the fellowship of family and friends, I hope you will take a few moments to honor those who, in Lincoln's words, died that our nation might live. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful Memorial Day.
We are so glad you could join us here on Constitution Avenue on the American Veterans Center National Memorial Day Parade.
Real quick, we want to thank Johnson's Florist and Garden Centers for providing the beautiful fresh flower arrangements that you see here in the host booth. Appreciate that.
And we have a very special guest with us right now, the Grand Marshal of this parade, J.R. Martinez. There he is, see, right there. Great to have you here,
Well,
J.R.
thank you for having me.
Much.
It's amazing to be here in D.C.
We talked earlier about the attack back in 2003 that you said changed your life. Tell us how it did that.
Well, I was driving a Humvee with 3 other soldiers in the vehicle with me when in Karbala, Iraq, when my front left tire ran over a roadside bomb and it exploded, but I was trapped inside the vehicle. The other 3 soldiers were thrown out of the vehicle, all walked away physically with minor injuries, and I'm actually grateful for that. And I was brought back to San Antonio, Texas, where I spent almost 3 years recovering. I was 19 when it happened, and, you know, I just kind of realized that service doesn't end because you don't wear that uniform or have that weapon. You know, service continues in a different capacity with a different uniform, a different weapon. And I've learned that my new uniform are the scars on my body, and the new weapon are the words that come out of my mouth. And so for me, it's about continuing to serve and about reminding a lot of grateful Americans that are watching this program right now about the service that a lot of men and women and families have made and given over the years. And let's honor and celebrate, you know, that sacrifice.
JR, we are so happy to have you here with us today. Your very first time with this parade. Hope that you're enjoying the day. Grand Marshal of the parade, thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you, guys. Thank you. Have a great Memorial Day.
And now, we are happy to welcome some very special guests to this year's parade. Wounded warriors from the operations in Afghanistan and Iraq. In addition to the more than 6,000 Americans who've been killed in both of those conflicts, many thousands more have been injured and wounded. The Warriors are representatives of the Wounded Warrior Project.
And they are appearing on a float made possible by pay TV leader Home Box Office, or HBO as we know them. They also support many efforts to help our returning warriors. And appearing with them, one of the strongest supporters of our military in Hollywood, Gary Sinise. We are grateful for his continued support of the parade.
And also riding with the Wounded Warriors, that man, Tony Award-winning actor Joe Mantegna. Joe's a longtime co-host, along with Gary, of PBS's Memorial Day concert, and has a very long history of service in his family.
And we want to get back down to Constitution Ave with Kirsten Hagelin. Kirsten?
Thank you, Autry. I'm honored to be standing here with the United States Army Chief of Staff, General Ray Odierno. Ray, we still have 60,000 combat troops abroad. What can Americans do to support them?
Well, the main thing is to remember that they're still out there, and they're doing it for our own peace and security. So when you're back here, remember them, take care of their families, reach out to their families, and pray for them as much as you can. They're great young men and women who've stood up to defend our country.
Now, what is the Army doing to help these servants transition back into civil life?
There's several things. I mean, the one thing we've come up with this new program helping veterans transition out to get jobs. And that's another place where people can help us. And when you see a veteran, hire them. They have incredible credentials. They are smart. They're dedicated. And we want you to help them. They deserve it. They deserve that from the American people. So please help us in getting them jobs as they come back.
That's a great message. Now, what does the Army have to say on behalf of them to the American people today, Memorial Day?
Well, Memorial Day is about those who gave their lives for our country. The Army throughout history has given hundreds and hundreds of thousands of lives of all generations. And we owe them a debt of gratitude for this great country that we have. And we should be very appreciative of them and their service.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. We're so honored to have you to be a part of this. You are just an incredible representation of our armed forces. Thank you. Thank you, Audrey and Dave.
Kirsten, thanks. The next float comes to us from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, the low country of South Carolina, one of America's most favorite beach destinations. This is home for me. Thanks. This in their first year participating in the parade, Myrtle Beach, home to a former U.S. Air Force base and an awful lot of retired military veterans.
And with 60 miles of soft, sandy beaches, more than 100 championship golf courses, plus a wide array of restaurants, attractions, amusements, and shopping, Myrtle Beach is a great place for your next vacation getaway. It also happens to be one of the most affordable destinations on the East Coast. It's not too late to plan your summer getaway.
Also riding on the float, the winner of season number 5 of American Idol, Taylor Hicks, and he'll be performing for us in just a bit. Taylor Hicks is one of the most beloved American Idol winners of all time. From the very start, his material on the mega show set him apart with a unique take on Southern soul, R&B, country, and blues. And when he was crowned, more than 37 million viewers tuned in, making it one of the most watched TV events of this decade.
He has had top Billboard chart hits, penned a best-selling autobiography, starred on Broadway, and began his residency in Las Vegas, where he can currently be seen. He's a little busy, just a little busy these days. He's also working on his first country album. Here we go, Taylor Hicks performing.
This is what we dream about. But the only question with me now is, do I make you, or do I make you proud? Happy Memorial Day, everybody. Thank you.
Taylor, thanks. We're going to be back with more coverage of the National Memorial Day Parade right after this.
Father Hamel Joseph Capon became a chaplain in the United States Army in 1944, serving abroad at the end of World War II. In July 1950, Captain Capon was ordered to Korea, where he ministered to the dying on the front lines, offering communion and celebrating Mass from an improvised altar on the hood of a Jeep. Captured in North Korea, he continued to serve his fellow POWs, obtaining food and raising morale until his death in May 1951. For his devotion, he has been placed on the path to sainthood and was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor by President Obama. Coming up, the parade honors American heroes from the American Revolution through today. It's all at the National Memorial Day Parade from Washington, D.C. Closed captioning provided by.
Running a business without being incorporated is like walking a tightrope without a net. One little misstep could cost you your entire business, your personal assets, and even your life savings. But now you can quickly protect yourself by incorporating or forming an LLC. Find out how simple it is to protect your personal assets by requesting this important free guide today. Running a business without a safety net really is putting your whole future on the line. For your free guide, call 1-800-617-6955.
The National Memorial Day Parade is sponsored by Visit MyrtleBeach.com, America's most affordable beach destination.
Welcome back, everybody. We're in the middle of our live coverage of the Washington, D.C. American Veterans Center National Memorial Day Parade.
This National Memorial Day Parade is organized as a moving timeline of American military history, honoring our fallen heroes from our beginnings all the way through the current generation that has served in Afghanistan and Iraq. We begin this timeline with a tribute to the Native Americans.
Nearly 200,000 Native Americans have served in the U.S. military over the past 200-plus years, and that makes their rate of participation the largest of any ethnic group in the United States. Their ranks include 8 recipients of the Medal of Honor from World War II, Korea, and Vietnam.
From Pennsylvania, the Eagle Medicine Band of Cherokee Indians is a tribal community of persons with Cherokee ancestry. Under the leadership of Principal Chief David Stands with Song, members travel throughout the United States, sharing their culture with universities, museums, really any interested parties.
And we now honor those who served in the American Revolution. During 8 years of combat, almost 25,000 died in military service, and that ranks only behind the Civil War in terms of percentage of Americans lost. This tribute to our founding generation made possible by VisitMyrtleBeach.com. The Fifes and Drums of Yorktown, were formed in 1976 by the County of York. Since that time, it has been their mission to recruit young people between the age of 10 and 18 from the community and teach them in the rudiments of drill and 18th century field music.
Dave, a typical performance season consists of more than 100 shows. The Corps has also played in venues such as the Smithsonian American History Museum, the National Portrait Gallery, the Jefferson Memorial, and the U.S. Capitol, just to name a few. General Washington traveled 16 miles from his beloved home at Mount Vernon to be here with us today. It's the most popular historic site in America, and they welcome guests 365 days a year.
General's looking pretty good, I think. While visiting Mount Vernon, guests can also experience the Orientation Center and Education Center and the museum. In addition, Washington's distillery and grist mill are located just 3 miles south of the main estate, and they're open to the public from April through October. General Washington's participation is made possible in part by Fundraising Strategies, a supporter of this parade since 2005. And time once again to head down to street level and Kirsten.
I'm honored to be standing here with Gary Sinise and Joe Mantegna. Now, Joe, you're in D.C. every year for the National Memorial Day concert and the parade. What does being in D.C. on this special day mean to you?
Well, it's always been my contention, at least for the last 12 years that I've been involved with the concert and now the parade, that Memorial Day is our most important holiday, because without celebrating Memorial Day or honoring Memorial Day, we have no reason to have any other holidays. That's the one that guarantees us the ability to live in the country that we do.
Absolutely. And now, Gary, you're one of our most recognized celebrities among our military men and women. Tell us about your new foundation that supports them.
Well, the foundation is Gary Sinise Foundation. You can go to GarySiniseFoundation.org. It's set up to serve and honor the needs of our military men and women, active duty, our veterans, first responders, people that serve and protect and sacrifice for our country each and every day. And we just want to do what we can to make sure that we keep them strong. And one of those things is coming here every Memorial Day with Joe and being a part of the Memorial Day concert, the Memorial Day parade, and spreading a message of honoring and paying tribute to those who sacrificed for our nation.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. What's your special message for our troops today?
Each and every day is Memorial Day, and we can never do enough for our veterans. So God bless you for serving. Thank you very much, and we'll keep it up on this front. You stay strong on the front line.
Thank you. And Joe, a couple words to our troops?
Yeah, I really couldn't say it any better than what Gary just said. Just know that we'll always have your back. We'll be out there stomping for the troops at any time, any place we can.
Thank you so much, Gary and Joe, for your incredible service and for showing your support today. Now, back to you.
Kirsten, thanks so much. And it's pretty hard to argue with that argument about the importance of this day. Right now, from Pennsylvania, the pride of Pennsylvania, the Franklin High School Black Knight Marching Band.
I am Matt Garr, band president.
And I am band vice president, Megan Mullen.
We are known as the Pride of Pennsylvania and widely respected as one of the top traditional show-style bands in the country.
1/4 of our entire school is in our marching band, which is uncommon for most bands across the nation.
Our band family is strong, much like our home state, the Keystone State.
Enjoy the parade today and let us remember the fallen, veterans, and active duty service members.
Now, the Sons of the American Revolution is a patriotic lineage society, and each of its members can trace his ancestry to one or more patriots of the American Revolution. With nearly 30,000 members in 500 different chapters around the world, the group strives to commemorate and provide memorials for the people and events of the American Revolution. They inspire today's generation to learn about the principles on which the United States was founded and to educate our communities about the events and ideals of the Revolution.
And they'll celebrate their 125th anniversary next year. And of the 25 U.S. presidents elected since our founding, 16 have been members of this organization.
And now from North Carolina, here is the North Lincoln High School Band of Knights.
Hello, my name is Christina Wilkins.
And I'm Daniel Yunt, drum majors of our great band.
It's so great to be back in Washington, D.C., as we were so honored to have performed in the city back in 2005.
We are a well-decorated band, having won numerous awards over the short 10 years that our school has been in existence.
Seeing all of the red, white, and blue along the route today certainly heightens our American spirit as we march down Constitution Avenue.
We hope you enjoy our performance of Star Spangled Salute.
I want to take this chance once again to go back down street side where Kirsten is standing by for us. Hi, Kirsten.
Hi, thanks, Dave. I'm standing here with the Secretary of the Navy, Ray Mabus, and the Chief of Naval Operations, Admiral Jonathan Greenert. So, Secretary, we're commemorating the 200th anniversary of the War of 1812 right now. So, what was the war's role in shaping the Navy?
Well, it was really the beginning of the modern United States Navy. It showed that we could defeat the greatest Navy on earth at the time, the British Navy, but also how indispensable the Navy is to America. We're a maritime country. We defend freedom of navigation, freedom of the seas, and we defend America a long way from home like we did in that war.
Absolutely. Now, how is the Navy coming into the 21st century?
Well, a new defense strategy which says focus on the Pacific, focus on the Arabian Gulf, focus on building partnerships. That's a maritime strategy. We've got to keep a great Navy, great Marine Corps to make sure that we can do that.
Absolutely. And now, Admiral, how does it feel to you to lead our 300,000 naval soldiers, men and women, all around the world?
Oh, Kirsten, I have the greatest job in the world. I get to organize, train, and equip people from this generation who just want to be part of something bigger than themselves. They don't want money. They don't want accolades. They just want to be a part of something that matters. They're unbelievable.
And now, how can people at home support our Navy?
I think they can do two things. One, just thank them for what they're doing. That gives them a shot of adrenaline that sets them up for 6 weeks. But second, ask them what they're doing. Ask them what they do, and their eyes light up and they say, let me tell you what my life is like since I joined the service, especially the Navy.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. We'll be right back with more parade coverage right after this.
Coming up, Honorary Grand Marshal Trace Atkins, and the parade honors the fallen of the Civil War, and later, a performance from Miss America.
Attention all women over 18. If you don't have a facial exfoliating brush yet, we need your help, and you need ours. We're Hydroxytone, and we have a mission to set a world record by mailing out 1 million free Sonic Microderm facial brushes as quickly as possible. We're calling it the Million Brush Mailout, and we want to include you. This free brush is yours just for trying a risk-free trial of our anti-aging breakthrough, Hydroxytone. So call now and tell us where to send your trial and free facial brush. 1-800-771-9743. Exfoliating, softening, smoothing, renewing your skin for youthful radiance. This luxurious facial brush is top of the line, valued at $60. But call now and you can get it free. Again, we're trying to mail out 1 million free facial brushes as quickly as possible. So we need your help. Call immediately for your free facial brush and risk-free trial of Hydroxytone. 1-800-771-9743. 1-800-771-9743.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say I combined home and auto with State Farm. Saved $760. Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
All right, Mama, let's get going. Nap time is calling my name.
Get to a better state. State Farm.
There's a place where past vacation memories are talked about and shared for a lifetime, where new experiences never disappoint, and where the only thing better than visiting is coming back again. Visit Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. 60 miles of picture-perfect beachline will take your breath away, but leave your wallet happy, because you shouldn't have to sacrifice on your family vacation. Visit Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Experience so much more for so much less, and leave with memories to last a lifetime.
The National Memorial Day Parade is sponsored by Military.com. connecting you to all the benefits of service. State Farm, for auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state. And by Sprint, thanking all of our armed forces for keeping our nation safe and free.
And we are so happy to welcome you back to Washington, D.C. and our coverage of the American Veterans Center's National Memorial Day Parade.
Let's head back to Constitution Avenue now for more of the parade. Our next float, the honorary Grand Marshal, country music superstar Trace Adkins. The four-time Grammy-nominated artist has sold more than 10 million albums. Now, Trace is a TV personality and author. He's also spokesman for the Wounded Warrior Project and the American Red Cross, for which he was recently raising money as the winner of NBC's All-Star Celebrity Apprentice. He's a veteran of 7 USO tours and is among the military's highest-profile celebrity supporters. By the way, his new album, Love Will, was just released a few weeks ago. It's available everywhere.
And joining Trace as part of our special tribute to the sacrifices of the United States Army are active duty soldiers who have served around the world and on the front lines in Afghanistan and Iraq. Many have referred to this generation as our new greatest generation for their tremendous valor, honor, and sacrifice that they have displayed throughout years of deployment. And we want to get back down to Constitution Ave now, and Kirsten.
Thanks, Autria. The next section of the parade is arriving as the National Memorial Day Parade honors those who served in the Civil War. Now, I'm pleased to introduce Terry Shima, who's with me. He was with the Japanese Americans Veterans Association and a veteran of the legendary 442nd Regimental Combat Team in World War II. Now, Terry, Japanese Americans were really fighting a war on 2 fronts during World War II. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. One front was the enemies, and the other was the racism at home.
You were just awarded the Presidential Citizens Medal by President Obama. How did it feel to receive such an honor?
It was awesome. And I believe that I interpret that award as an endorsement of the Japanese American Veterans Association mission to tell the story of Japanese Americans who served in World War II and the contributions they made to our greater America.
Absolutely. You are such an incredible man, and we're so thankful to honor you this Memorial Day. Thank you so much for your service. Now, back to you, Dave and Autria.
Kirsten, thanks. How great is Terry Sheen?
It was awesome.
The Sons of Union Veterans of the Civil War was formed in 1881 to carry on the traditions and memories of the Grand Army of the Republic, the soldiers and sailors who fought to preserve the Union during the Civil War.
And Dave, here's a fun fact for you about this holiday. General John A. Logan, Commander-in-Chief of the Grand Army of the Republic, inaugurated Decoration Day on May 30th, 1868 to honor those who had fallen preserving the Union in the Civil War. We now call Decoration Day Memorial Day.
Coming into view now, the R.E. Lee Camp 726, located in Alexandria, Virginia. It's under both the National and the Virginia Division of the Sons of the Confederate Veterans. The camp was founded on the 17th day of February 1927 and is dedicated to the preservation of Confederate history and heritage and seeing that the true history is passed on to future generations.
And joining them is the Provisional Forces of the Confederacy. This is a reenacting group based in Maryland. They are represented today by members of the 24th Virginia Cavalry and the 1st Maryland Volunteer Infantry. And they're active in local history. The group is also an active program of the Reisterstown Recreation Council and Baltimore County Recreation and Parks.
For 160 years, this famous stagecoach has represented Wells Fargo's dedication to serving our customers and the communities we share. It's the living expression of Wells Fargo's brand essence, working together. And it's also a monument of America's history of linking East and West.
Of course, Wells Fargo is a proud sponsor of the National Memorial Day Parade. To learn more about how Wells Fargo supports our military and our veterans, please visit wellsfargo.com/veterans. And we will be back for more coverage of the National Memorial Day Parade. Before we go, another story of American sacrifice.
A native of Easley, South Carolina, Kimberly Hampton was an honors graduate and champion tennis player at Presbyterian College. While in college, she joined the Army ROTC program, becoming only the second woman to serve as the school's ROTC battalion commander. After graduating, she attended flight training and served in South Korea and Afghanistan. She was made commander of Delta Troop, 1st Squadron, 17th Cavalry Regiment before her deployment to Iraq in 2003. Captain Hampton would be killed on January 2, 2004, when her helicopter was shot down near Fallujah, Iraq, the first female pilot to be killed by enemy fire in U.S. history. She would be posthumously awarded the Bronze Star, Air Medal, and Purple Heart for her valor and sacrifice. Next up, the parade moves into the 20th century and a performance from Miss America. And it's all from Washington, D.C.
There's a place where past vacation memories are talked about and shared for a lifetime, where new experiences never disappoint, and where the only thing better than visiting is coming back again. Visit Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. 60 miles of picture-perfect beachline will take your breath away, but leave your wallet happy, because you shouldn't have to sacrifice on your family vacation. Visit Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Experience so much more for so much less, and leave with memories to last a lifetime.
Oh, hey, Mike. What are you up to?
Just diagramming this accident with my State Farm Pocket Agent app. You can also get a quote and pay your premium with this thing.
I thought State Farm didn't have all those apps.
Where'd you hear that?
The internet.
And you believed it?
Yeah. They can't put anything on the internet that isn't true.
Where'd you hear that?
The internet. Oh, look. Here comes my date. I met him on the internet. He's a French model.
Bonjour.
State Farm. More mobile than ever. Get to a better state.
Additional consideration provided by...
If you or a loved one has mesothelioma or any other asbestos-related cancer, call now. Asbestos manufacturers sold deadly asbestos materials to thousands of companies, putting workers at risk. An estimated $30 billion in court-ordered trusts have been set aside to pay out claims to asbestos victims. You may be entitled to a portion of these funds and receive compensation without filing a lawsuit or ever going to court.
Call 1-800-571-7824 now. That's 1-800-571-7824.
The National Memorial Day Parade is sponsored by VisitMyrtleBeach.com, America's most affordable beach destination, and by the American Veterans Center, protecting the legacy and honoring the sacrifice of our veterans. For more information, visit AmericanVeteransCenter.org.
So glad you could join our coverage of the American Veterans Center National Memorial Day Parade.
Happy to have you here with us in the nation's capital. Let's head back to Constitution Avenue and Kirsten Haglund. Kirsten?
Thanks, Autria. As you can see, the next section of the parade is arriving as the National Memorial Day Parade honors those who served in the Spanish-American War. Now, I'm honored to be joined by the president and founder of the TAPS organization, Bonnie Carroll, as well as the daughter of Staff Sergeant Nathaniel J. Nyron, who died in Iraq in 2004, Brooke Nyron. We're so happy to have you ladies here. Can you tell me a little bit about the TAPS organization, its mission, and how people at home can support?
Great. TAPS is the national organization for all those grieving the loss of loved ones serving in the armed forces. We've got a website at taps.org, and we would love to have folks come and volunteer, support our families, and honor and remember our fallen heroes.
Thank you so much. It's so important. And now, Brooke, can you tell us the special meaning of this day for you?
Memorial Day is so important to me, so I can always recognize my father, and it's so important to know, for others to know, that they should really recognize the fallen heroes of our country.
How was TAPS able to help you throughout that period when you just lost your dad?
TAPS, I felt really alone when it first happened. I had no idea where to turn, and when I came to TAPS, I felt like I was a part of something and that I have a new family, and to know I'm not alone in this country.
That's such an incredible message. Thank you so much for your bravery and being here, and your dad will not be forgotten by anyone. We're so lucky to have both of you here. Is there any message that you would like to give to our troops from TAPS?
Oh, gosh. We honor our troops by caring for all their fallen battle buddies and the families they have left behind. So thank you so much for the parade and allowing our families to be part of it.
Well, thank you so much. You both ladies are just such a treasure to us. We're so, so thankful to have you here. Are you doing anything in D.C. Memorial Day?
It's my home, so going back home and having a great time.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Back to you, Dave and Atria.
And thank you, Kirsten. And coming down now, colored troopers led by white officers. The Buffalo soldiers served in the harshest of conditions. When the Plains Indians saw the black troopers in their greatcoats, the Cheyenne Indians called them wild buffaloes. The Comanches called them crazy buffaloes.
And a special thank you to the Washington area collectors of military vehicles, Blue and Gray Military Vehicle Trust, members who privately own antique restored military vehicles, and their purpose to honor our veterans by preserving and displaying vehicles that made significant contributions to the history of our country.
And here come the Cash Marching Band from the state of Oklahoma. They're a young and growing performance group outside of Lawton, Fort Sill, Oklahoma. The band's main function is entertainment at school football games. However, they are active in the community at local parades and pep rally functions.
And we're very pleased to have them here. In fact, this is the farthest the Cash Marching Band has ever traveled to perform. They've competed in festivals in San Antonio, Branson, and Dallas, but nothing out of Oklahoma or its bordering states. And very few of the students on this band have ever been to the nation's capital, so it's a brand new experience for everybody. The National Memorial Day Parade honors those who served in the Great War, the war to end all war, World War I. Up next, some WW1 doughboys. A doughboy was the informal term for an American soldier, particularly members of the American Expeditionary Forces in World War I.
This tribute is made possible by our friends at Military Times. Military Times, of course, the publisher of Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marine Corps Times. They're proud to support our service members and their families today and every day.
Our next float is sponsored by the Military Order of the Purple Heart Service Foundation. It's a nonprofit organization whose primary purpose is to serve the needs of our wounded and disabled. The foundation is honored to serve all veterans and their families and a proud supporter of this parade for our military. And for more information on ways you can help, go to mophsf.org.
And you see her there on the float, Mallory Hagan, Miss America 2013, who joins us now with a performance of God Bless America.
God bless America.
The National Moment of Remembrance, established by Congress, asks all Americans, wherever they are at 3 o'clock local time on Memorial Day, to pause in an act of national unity.
So right now, the National Memorial Day Parade will participate in that moment, coming to a complete stop for 1 minute while taps will be played in honor of all who have sacrificed their lives. So we ask wherever you are that you please join us in this moment.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace hath brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home.
Taps was played by Staff Sergeant Matthew S. Byrne, a member of the U.S. Army Band.
And singing Amazing Grace there was Master Sergeant Antonio Giuliano from the United States Army Chorus. There's still much more to come here from the nation's capital. Hope that you will stay with us. We'll be right back.
Coming up live, the National Memorial Day Parade honors America's greatest generation, all from Constitution Avenue here in Washington, D.C.
If you're a woman and you're sick and tired of watching your hair get thinner and thinner, we're about to challenge everything you think you know about hair loss. Because we're going to send you a risk-free trial of a product that fights women's hair loss. It contains the only FDA-approved ingredient clinically proven to regrow hair. It's part of our Keranique system for thicker, fuller hair. Call in the next 5 minutes to request your risk-free trial. You're going to be amazed by what you see. Keranique is formulated especially for women and includes a hair treatment that helps prevent premature hair loss and regrow thicker, fuller hair. Keranique is also sulfate-free, so it's gentle for color-treated hair. Ladies, it's finally your turn to be free from the embarrassment of hair loss. Call 1-800-541-4764 in the next 5 minutes. Try Keranique before you buy it. But hurry, supplies are extremely limited. For your risk-free trial, call 1-800-541-4764. That's 1-800-541-4764.
There's a place where past vacation memories are talked about and shared for a lifetime, where new experiences never disappoint, and where the only thing better than visiting is coming back again. Visit Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. 60 miles of picture-perfect beachline will take your breath away, but leave your wallet happy, because you shouldn't have to sacrifice on your family vacation. Visit Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Experience so much more for so much less, and leave with memories to last a lifetime.
Oh, hey, Mike. Where are you up to?
Just diagramming this accident with my State Farm Pocket Agent app. You can also get a quote and pay your premium with this thing.
I thought State Farm didn't have all those apps.
Where'd you hear that?
The internet.
And you believed it?
Yeah. They can't put anything on the internet that isn't true.
Where'd you hear that? The internet.
Oh, look. Here comes my date. I met him on the internet. He's a French model.
Bonjour.
State Farm, more mobile than ever. Get to a better state.
The National Memorial Day Parade is sponsored in part by Verizon Communications and Saab. Saab North America is proud to honor America's veterans.
And welcome back, everyone, to our coverage of the American Veterans Center's National Memorial Day Parade.
Now, the National Memorial Day Parade honors those veterans who served in World War II. More than 16 million Americans served in WW2, and while more than 400,000 died, making it truly the defining moment of the 20th century.
Heading this tribute to the World War II generation is a float coming to us from the Lions Clubs of Washington, D.C., Delaware, Maryland, and Virginia. This is their 5th year participating in our parade. They are 1.3 million men and women strong, making them the world's largest community service organization. A great many veterans of the Second World War have also been Lions.
Float's theme is In a World of Service. It represents the goal of Lions worldwide. And riding on this float, District 22C Humanitarian of the Year, award-winning local television personality, news anchor J.C. Hayward.
Accompanying the float are the marching lions from over 150 local Lions clubs. Now, these marching lions are carrying their local Lions Club banners that denote both the name of the club and the community they serve. When the National World War II Memorial was When the National World War II Memorial was dedicated in 2004, the American Veterans Center helped organize a parade in honor of those veterans who were able to attend the ceremonies. It was out of that parade that the National Memorial Day Parade grew.
And leading this salute, the flags representing the original Allied nations in World War II. They're made possible with support from the Uniformed Services Benefit Association. The USBA is grateful for the sacrifices our military and their families have made on behalf of all of us.
Our honorary marshal for World War II, First Lieutenant John Campbell. He was a member of the 483rd Bomb Group Division of the 15th Air Corps. He flew B-17s out of Italy when he was 20 years old.
As a pilot and co-pilot, he flew 35 missions within 10 months. Lieutenant Campbell was awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross, an Air Medal with 3 clusters, and 6 battle stars.
More than 16,000 men and women were a part of the Tuskegee experience during World War II. 3 of them, Ivan Ware, Bill Fauntleroy, and Major Anderson, they're here representing the highly decorated units commonly known as the legendary Tuskegee Airmen.
Tuskegee Airmen performed all the jobs necessary to become self-sufficient military units in the Army Air Corps, and collectively they were awarded the Congressional Gold Medal at the U.S. Capitol back in 2007 for their efforts during World War II. The participation of these legendary heroes is supported by GEICO. Since its founding in 1936, GEICO has proudly served those who serve, and they're honored to support this year's National Memorial Day Parade.
Please welcome now veterans of the Army's 99th Infantry Division, representing all who served in the infantry during World War II. They are heroes of the Battle of the Bulge, the Ruhr Pocket, Central Germany, the Isar River, and Bavaria.
They've earned all kinds of awards, including the Presidential Unit Citation, dozens of Purple Hearts, even the Medal of Honor. And their participation is supported by Saab. Americans, veterans have made great sacrifices to secure the freedom of our nation and our citizens. Saab North America is proud to honor their service.
And now from the state of Oklahoma, here is the Tallahena Golden Tiger Marching Band. This group is a 7th through 12th grade band that competes at the high school level. They've won several awards in both concert and marching band in Oklahoma, Missouri, and Texas.
They were nominated last April to represent the state of Oklahoma at this parade. They're truly thrilled, they tell us, to be here in this most historic of American cities. It's their first time to the District of Columbia, and today they're going to play for us Louie Louie.
And now let's get back down street side with Kirsten Hagelin. Kirsten?
Thanks, Autria. I am here with Tim Holbert, and he is with the American Veterans Center. Thank you for being here, Tim. How can folks at home support this awesome parade and the work of the American Veterans Center?
Sure, absolutely. Well, we know we have plenty of fantastic sponsors who have been a fantastic help here today, but really the American Veterans Center is driven by individual contributions from Americans across the country. Thousands of Americans who really chip in, and if you want to help out, you can go to AmericanVeteransCenter.org. We have all the information about the center, what we do, and how you can support.
That's great. And so can you tell us a little bit about the mission of the Veterans Center?
Sure. Well, we're really dedicated to giving veterans an opportunity to share their own stories. We record them. We have radio documentary programs, as well as this event right here today.
Wonderful. Now, can you tell us what Memorial Day means to you personally?
Well, you know, Memorial Day is really about those who made the ultimate sacrifice. That's obviously why we're all here today. And that's what this event is about. It's really for Americans to come together for one big event, one big day, where they can really honor those who really, you know, paid for our freedoms with their lives.
Absolutely. Well, we are so thankful to be here. And obviously, we wouldn't have this parade without the American Veterans Center. It's Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day to you. Are you doing anything fun for the holiday?
I'm here.
Anything else? Any beach parties? Any grills?
Not today, but tomorrow. There might be some beach parties and some grill outs.
All right, I think you definitely deserve the day off, right?
I'm hoping.
Now, we've got a lot of celebrities here today. Have you met anyone special?
Well, it's been a lot of fun. Robert Griffin III has been fantastic to me. Gary Sinise and Joe Montana obviously are great longtime supporters. It's been a real treat to have Trace Adkins here, who's so respected by our military community. Taylor Hicks, great performance. So it's been so much fun.
Yes, I was able to meet Gary Sinise as well as so many of our men who have served during my years with America. Thank you so much. Back to you, Dave and Autria.
Kirsten, thanks. Navy Club, United States of America, Ship 166, Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. Proud to be representing the Navy Club of the United States of America national body. And this organization was the first to place a memorial at Pearl Harbor on Ford Island. It's also requested by the Secretary of Defense to initiate fundraising to raise money for that USS Arizona Memorial.
And this organization is made up of veterans of seagoing services, the Coast Guard, the Navy, and the Marines. Their motto, keep the fleet to keep the peace, and service to all veterans.
Today, U-Haul continues its support of our veterans and troops by showcasing the 5 branches of our armed services on the sides of U-Haul trucks: Navy, Air Force, Army, Marines, and Coast Guard. U-Haul's committed to serving our veterans by giving them priority in their hiring process.
And U-Haul is once again honored to be a sponsor of the parade and to be able to remind the public about the true meaning of Memorial Day, to honor and remember all of the men and women who have given so selflessly for our freedoms, and to honor the families they leave behind.
Approaching is the Japanese American Veteran Association, led by its president, Gerald Yamada. The nationwide organization represents Japanese Americans and other Asian American veterans who've served both in war and peacetime.
Many members of our World War II combat veterans who served in the famous 442nd Go for Broke Regimental Combat Team and the Military Intelligence Service. And the 442nd is one of the nation's most highly decorated units of its size and period of combat in our nation's history.
Keep the Spirit of 45 Alive is a national grassroots initiative promoting the observance of National Spirit of 45 Day. It honors the men and women of the World War II generation. Spirit of 45 Day is celebrated on the second Sunday in August and aligns with the anniversary of that historic day in which President Harry Truman announced the most destructive war in American history was over.
And as you can see there a moment ago, today hundreds of youth are carrying photographs of some of the ordinary heroes who gave their lives in service to our country during World War II. And they will march to the National World War II Memorial, where they will lay flowers at the Wall of Gold Stars, honoring the more than 400,000 Americans who made the ultimate sacrifice defending freedom during World War II. Riding with them is Honorary Marshal Jerry Yellen, national spokesperson for Spirit of 45.
We're right back with more of our live parade coverage right after this.
The parade honors the fallen of the Korean and Vietnam Wars when we return live from Constitution Avenue in Washington, D.C.
One little joint supplement. You know, this powerful little pill is great for your joints. It even has powerful benefits to help increase your mobility and flexibility. But the joint supplements of today are sadly incomplete because they don't give you the joint relief you need. Introducing the complimentary 2-week sample of Instaflex, our most powerful joint formula ever. The only thing our complimentary sample of Instaflex is missing is the price. Because right now, we're offering adults a complimentary 2-week sample as part of a nationwide giveaway. Call and claim your sample today. 1-800-913-2586. Great for powerful relief of joint discomfort in your knees, hands, and even your hips. Instaflex is available at GNC, Vitamin World, and Rite Aid pharmacies. But you can only get your complimentary 2-week sample by calling 1-800-913-2586. Call now for your 2-week Instaflex sample. 1-800-913-2586.
Attention all women over 18. If you don't have a facial exfoliating brush yet, we need your help, and you need ours. We're Hydroxytone, and we have a mission to set a world record by mailing out 1 million free Sonic Microderm facial brushes as quickly as possible. We're calling it the Million Brush Mailout, and we want to include you. This free brush is yours just for trying a risk-free trial of our anti-aging breakthrough, Hydroxytone. So call now and tell us where to send your trial and free facial brush. 1-800-771-9743. Exfoliating, softening, smoothing, renewing your skin for youthful radiance. This luxurious facial brush is top of the line, valued at $60. But call now and you can get it free. Again, we're trying to mail out 1 million free facial brushes as quickly as possible. So we need your help. Call immediately for your free facial brush and risk-free trial of Hydroxytone. 1-800-771-9743. 1-800-771-9743.
by Verizon Communications and by Military.com, connecting you to all the benefits of service. Long Fence, honored to be a parade sponsor and to join the public in reflection on the true meaning of Memorial Day. To remember and honor veterans of all wars and peacetime service who paid the ultimate price to protect America's freedom. Thank you, Long Fence.
Closed captioning provided by.
Running a business without being incorporated is like walking a tightrope without a net. One little misstep could cost you your entire business, your personal assets, and even your life savings. But now you can quickly protect yourself by incorporating or forming an LLC. Find out how simple it is to protect your personal assets by requesting this important free guide today. Running a business without a safety net really is putting your whole future on the line. For your free guide, call 1-800-617-6955.
The National Memorial Day Parade is sponsored in part by Verizon Communications and by Military.com, connecting you to all the benefits of service.
And welcome back to the nation's capital. Long Fence is honored to be a parade sponsor and to join the public in reflection on the true meaning of Memorial Day. That's remembering and honoring veterans of all wars and peacetime service who paid the ultimate price to protect America's freedom. Thank you, Long Fence.
The Department of Defense 60th anniversary of the Korean War Commemoration Committee was created to thank and honor those who fought and died in the Korean War. The committee has worked to honor the service of all Korean War veterans these past 3 years and will hold its final major event at the Korean War Veterans Memorial on July 27th. Now, if you are a veteran and you would like to attend, just visit KoreanWar60.com/27July.
We hear of World War II veterans very often, and then we move right into the Vietnam period, and oftentimes the Korean War veterans' contributions, and they're great, have been ignored. The median age for these guys is 81, 82 years old. Many of them are veterans of World War II that went on to Korea to fight after the war. These are the guys that did all the heavy lifting, so to speak, and to get their perspective and the hardships they went through, what they endured, you know, it's really eye-opening. It was really a very important part of American history. All that energy and effort that was expended during those 3 years of war from 1950 to 53, it added up to something pretty important. We have a tremendous ally in the Republic of Korea that continues to partner with us today. What better, you know, lasting tribute to what they did over there than to see that country prospering the way it is.
And now from right here in Washington, D.C., please welcome the Blue and White Marching Machine from Eastern Senior High School. They are known for their stereophonic sound and high-energy performances, and they have quite the varied repertoire of music, everything from the patriotic standards to the top songs on the R&B charts.
They can do it all, and for more than 3 decades, they've entertained parade spectators and TV audiences as well. They've appeared in any number of parades around the nation, including 3 inaugural parades, the National Cherry Blossom Parade, and the NFL Hall of Fame Parade. They're directed by James Perry. And please welcome our honorary marshal for the Korean War, David Mills. He enlisted in the Army back in 1952 and was sent to Korea, where he took part in the epic Battle of Outpost Harry.
He earned the Purple Heart, the Prisoner of War Medal, and the National Defense Service Medal, among other awards. Now, he's riding in an M38A1 Jeep. This is a model that was deployed to both Korea and Vietnam.
Now, marching into view, the Sanderson High School Marching Spartans from North Carolina. The group has a long history of excellence dating back to the school's opening in 1968. This band has performed extensively across the Tar Heel State in both marching band competitions and concert band festivals.
And each year, many of the students are selected for all-district, all-state, governor's school. Many alumni are pursuing music degrees at some of the country's finest universities.
Leading the National Memorial Day Parade's tribute to those who served in Vietnam, Rolling Thunder, Maryland Chapter 1. The major function of Rolling Thunder to publicize the POW MIA issue and to educate the public that many American prisoners of war were left behind from all previous wars. They're committed to helping American veterans from all wars, and they live by the slogan, until they all come home.
And Maryland Chapter 1 was established in 2006. They are one of almost 90 chapters throughout the United States. Rolling Thunder is among the largest annual events here in Washington. It draws hundreds of thousands of motorcyclists each and every year.
This year's honorary marshal for Vietnam, Army Sergeant Joseph Bellardo. He's accompanied by his wife, Nancy. Joe is representing the more than 9 million Americans who served during the Vietnam era, and particularly the contributions of the enlisted men and women. He rides in honor of the 58,202 service members who died in Southeast Asia. The National Dusters, Quads, and Searchlights Association is a fraternal organization of Vietnam veterans and family members who served in the Army's Air Defense Artillery Unit in Vietnam.
They are especially proud of their Project Gold Star program that between 2000 and 2011, they sponsored and accompanied 24 Gold Star mothers to the place in Vietnam where their sons died. Once there, they held a memorial service for their sons, bringing some much-needed closure to those families. Now let's head back down to Constitution Ave and our special correspondent, Kirsten Hagelin. Hey, Kirsten.
Hey, Autria. I am here with Brad Dean. He's the president and CEO of the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina Chamber of Commerce. Brad, thanks so much for being here.
Hey, delighted to be here in our nation's capital for this most important holiday.
Now, this is the first year that Myrtle Beach has been a part of the National Memorial Day Parade. So what prompted you to support this?
You know, Myrtle Beach is a proud supporter of our U.S. military. We have a lot of active and retired military vets in our community working and living there. When we heard there might be cutbacks and no broadcast to our troops overseas, we called the American Veterans Center, said, how can we get involved? And here we are today.
So there are many military men and women who are now are living and vacationing in Myrtle Beach. Why is that?
You know, it's a former Air Force bases there, which attracted a lot of our retired veterans, and Myrtle Beach is one of the fastest growing tourism destinations in America, so a lot of American servicemen and women working in the Myrtle Beach hospitality industry.
So you've got 60 miles of beach, I hear, a little jealous, and tons of golf courses. What else is there to do in Myrtle Beach?
Well, as you mentioned, beaches and golf courses are the primary draw, but we have more than 1,500 restaurants, hundreds of stores, including 2 outlet malls, and the Oceanfront Amusement Park, the world's largest outdoor sculpture garden. Whether you're 2 years old or 82 years old or somewhere in between, we've got something for you in Myrtle Beach.
I love it. Now, what kind of accommodations do you have to offer?
You know, Myrtle Beach has all kinds of affordable accommodations, oceanfront resorts, beachfront condominiums, small mom and pop hotels, and large homes for multi-generational families and multiple families. If you're looking for an affordable vacation value in Myrtle Beach, it's a place for you.
That's what I was going to ask. A lot of people are having to tighten their belts this year. A lot of people, not only military families, but Americans all over the country. Is it affordable, and what kind of activities are affordable for families?
Absolutely. You know, summer vacation is American birthright, but a lot of people in this economy want to save money. If you're looking for saving dollars and you want to come to Myrtle Beach area, visit myrtlebeach.com. It's a site to find all kinds of discounts and offers for you. For a vacation value, Myrtle Beach is the place to be.
That's wonderful. Now, I know that you call Myrtle Beach home, but we're in our nation's capital. Memorial Day is a very special day. What message do you have for our troops?
You know, our message first and foremost is thank you and God bless you for all that you're doing to protect us here at home and abroad. And thank you for all the families who also make a sacrifice.
Thank you so much. We'll be back with more live parade coverage after this. But first, another story of American sacrifice.
The B. Broughton High School Band from Raleigh, North Carolina.
All right, thank you very much. Great job.
Upon graduating from Penn State, Michael P. Murphy passed up a law career to serve his country as an elite Navy SEAL. On June 28, 2005, Lieutenant Murphy was leading a mission to capture an enemy commander in Afghanistan. when he and 3 other SEALs came under attack from a large hostile and well-trained force. In an effort to save his comrades, Lieutenant Murphy exposed himself to enemy fire in order to create a clear channel to call in support. He would be mortally wounded, along with fellow SEALs Matthew Axelson and Danny Dietz. For his valor, Lieutenant Murphy would be posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor, the first awarded during the war in Afghanistan. Then, in October 2012, the destroyer USS Michael Murphy was commissioned in his honor. Coming up live, a performance by Sam James from The Voice. The parade honors the fallen of the Gulf War and a very special grand finale.
There's a place where past vacation memories are talked about and shared for a lifetime, where new experiences never disappoint, and where the only thing better than visiting is coming back again. Visit Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. 60 miles of picture-perfect beachline will take your breath away, but leave your wallet happy, because you shouldn't have to sacrifice on your family vacation. Visit Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Experience so much more for so much less, and leave with memories to last a lifetime.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey Dale, I got your text that said you couldn't text.
Wait, what? Why would he text that he couldn't text?
I was driving.
Well, why not just not text instead of texting you can't text?
I didn't text. It was just a text saying that he couldn't text.
So who actually texted the text that he couldn't text?
Dale.
The Sprint Drive First app blocks and replies to texts while you drive. We can live without the and.
If you're a woman and you're sick and tired of watching your hair get thinner and thinner, we're about to challenge everything you think you know about hair loss. Because we're going to send you a risk-free trial of a product that fights women's hair loss. It contains the only FDA-approved ingredient clinically proven to regrow hair. It's part of our Keranique system for thicker, fuller hair. Call in the next 5 minutes to request your risk-free trial. You're going to be amazed by what you see. Keranique is formulated especially for women and includes a hair treatment that helps prevent premature hair loss and regrow thicker, fuller hair. Keranique is also sulfate-free, so it's gentle for color-treated hair. Ladies, it's finally your turn to be free from the embarrassment of hair loss. Call 1-800-541-4764 in the next 5 minutes. Try Keranique before you buy it, but hurry, supplies are extremely limited. For your risk-free trial, call 1-800-541-4764. That's 1-800-541-4764.
The Hope High School Marching Bobcat Band, under the direction of Kevin B. Dunn, comprised of 50 members in grades 9 through 12. They perform at all Bobcat football games, local parades, several marching competitions throughout Arkansas and East Texas. The band has earned superior and excellent ratings in all endeavors for the past 6 years. And the band also performs in several local events throughout the year.
Hope, Arkansas, birthplace of former President William Jefferson Clinton. The Hope Marching Bobcat Band in 1992, presented to a novel grade at the request of President Clinton.
The National Memorial Day Parade, sponsored by VisitMyrtleBeach.com, America's most affordable beach destination, and by the Nation of Kuwait, which honors all who served in the Gulf War.
Now we'd like to welcome Sam James, who was a contestant on last season of the hit show, The Voice. He will perform Imagine for us.
The National Memorial Day Parade is sponsored by VisitMyrtleBeach.com, America's most affordable beach destination. And by the Nation of Kuwait, which honors all who served in the Gulf War.
Imagine there's no heaven. Easy easy if you try. No, there will be no right. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one.
A beautiful performance there by Sam James. He was a contestant on the last season of the hit show The Voice. Welcome back, everyone, to the National Memorial Day Parade.
It's good to have you along, and also special thanks to the good folks at Johnson's Florist and Garden Centers for providing the beautiful fresh flower arrangement here in the host booth for you. Let's head back now down to Constitution Avenue. The National Memorial Day Parade salutes those who served in the Gulf War. Archie Elam is our honorary marshal representing those who served in the Gulf. Graduate of West Point, Elam was commissioned an officer in the Armor and Cavalry. In addition to service with the Secretary of Army over the Pentagon and in Europe during the Cold War, he was deployed with the 18th Airborne Corps during the Gulf War.
Archie has gone on to have a great career following his military service as an executive with GE Capital, United Technologies, the George Group, and Accenture Management Consulting. He truly is an example of military service paving the way for future success. This next float commemorates the 22nd anniversary of the Gulf War and is brought to us by the state of Kuwait. Among the parade's earliest supporters, the people of Kuwait wish to convey their deep appreciation for those who served and those who fell in the fight to liberate their country.
And appearing on the float and walking along the parade route, natives of Kuwait who bring with them the message that Kuwait remembers our Gulf War vets. And on behalf of the people of Kuwait, we have the following message from the ambassador to the United States, Ambassador Al-Sabah.
The very special relationship between Kuwait and the U.S. Armed Forces was forged and actually cemented during the first Gulf War. In 1990 and 91, we Kuwaitis watched in amazement and admiration as the U.S. Armed Forces put themselves in harm's way to liberate my country. And ever since that day, we've had a very special place in our hearts and our minds for the U.S. Armed Forces. And that's why we are present at Memorial Day with our float, and we will always be there to say thank you.
American Airlines is the presenting sponsor of Snowball Express. So this is a nonprofit organization created to provide hope and new memories for the children of military fallen heroes who have died while on active duty since 9/11. Today, they are honored to have Ursula and her daughter Gabriella represent the Gold Star families who've paid the ultimate price of freedom. U.S. Army Sergeant First Class Colin Bowen was killed in action March 14, 2008 in Afghanistan.
This is such a great thing. American will again this December donate aircraft staffed with volunteer crews to provide travel for about 2,000 family members to attend Snowball 8 in Dallas and Fort Worth. They're escorted by members of the American Airlines Veterans Military Employee Resource Group. If you need more information about Snowball Express, visit the website at snowballexpress.org.
And we want to get back down to Constitution Ave and Kirsten Hagelin. Hey, Kirsten.
Hey, Atria. I am here with Tim Rayner. He's a pilot with American Airlines as well as the head of their Veterans Initiatives. He's also a colonel in the U.S. Marine Corps Reserves. Thanks, Tim, for being here. What are some of the programs that American Airlines is involved with our veterans?
Right, thanks. So you just heard the announcer talk about Snowball Express. Snowball Express is an annual event that we've hosted for the last 6 years in Dallas. We charter 12 of our own aircraft and volunteer flight crews, and we bring in about 2,000 Gold Star families, mothers, sons, children who have lost a father, a husband in Iraq or Afghanistan. We bring them in for a 4-day-long evolution that's just a lot of fun, and it's a very private affair for them. We get a lot of volunteers from our company that support it. It's just a very special event. Another event that we do is called Salute to the Troops. We do it partnered with MGM in Las Vegas. We take 100 wounded warriors from Walter Reed Bethesda every single year with the USO, and we treat them to 4 days of fun in Las Vegas, Nevada. And then another program that we support, the Medal of Honor Foundation and the Gary Sinise Foundation. We're proud sponsors of each one of those foundations as well.
Thank you so much. Now back to you, Dave and Atria.
Kirsten, thank you. Chris Kyle was among the most honored and respected veterans of the war in Iraq. A veteran of SEAL Team 3, he served 4 combat tours, was shot twice, and survived several IED attacks. His best-selling autobiography, American Sniper, shares his story and the story of his fellow SEALs, and it's also the focus of a recently announced film starring Bradley Cooper, directed by Steven Spielberg.
Something to look forward to, but tragically, Chris Kyle was killed this last February by a veteran that he and a friend were helping deal with post-traumatic stress. As you can imagine, his death hit the veteran community very hard. We now present a short tribute to his life, made possible by Mr. Robert Agostinelli.
Navy SEAL Chris Kyle never thought of himself as an American hero or even an exceptional sniper. But as millions know now, he was both. A veteran of 4 tours of duty in Iraq, Kyle saw combat in all of them, for which he was awarded the Purple Heart, the Bronze Star, and the Silver Star multiple times. Most remarkably, as a sniper, Kyle was responsible for 160 officially confirmed enemy kills. In 2009, Kyle retired from the Navy in order to spend more time with his family and wrote a best-selling book, American Sniper. He also devoted time to helping veterans in need. On February 2nd, 2013, he was fatally shot by a young vet suffering from PTSD, who he had tried to help. In an emotional tribute, Kyle's widow, Taya, said Chris was not interested in the number of kills that he had. He would have been interested in the number of lives he had saved. Saving lives was his only motivation. Chris Kyle, American hero. Sponsored by the Robert Agostinelli Foundation. Coming up live, the parade salutes the generation that sacrificed in Operation Iraqi Freedom and the grand finale of active duty troops. Every year, on one day, we stop to remember. We honor every man and woman who has made the ultimate sacrifice for this nation. We pay tribute to all of those who have fallen in the line of duty. We salute their courage and the price they have paid. We celebrate the freedoms they have protected. We stand with the wounded and those who serve on the front lines today. We make sure their legacy is never forgotten. This year, help us honor and support all American veterans at the National Memorial Day Parade. Visit AmericanVeteransCenter.org to make a donation and help guard the legacy, the honor, and the sacrifice of all American veterans.
In 2009.
Massachusetts Maritime Academy Regimental Band and Honor Guard.
Additional consideration provided by
If you or a loved one has mesothelioma or any other asbestos-related cancer, call now. Asbestos manufacturers sold deadly asbestos materials to thousands of companies, putting workers at risk. An estimated $30 billion in court-ordered trusts have been set aside to pay out claims to asbestos victims. You may be entitled to a portion of these funds and receive compensation without filing a lawsuit or ever going to court.
Call 1-800-571-7824 now. That's 1-800-571-7824.
The National Memorial Day Parade is sponsored by the Nation of Kuwait, which honors all who served in the Gulf War.
And welcome back to our coverage of the American Veterans Center's National Memorial Day Parade.
Time to go back down to Constitution Avenue. And this is the Massachusetts Maritime Academy Regimental Band and Honor Guard.
Brendan Heath. And I am Drum Major Jason Boucher. The Regimental Band and Honor Guard promotes the Academy mission by showcasing discipline, knowledge, and leadership through music, drill, and ceremonial performances at public and academy venues.
The 7th Company is the most highly visible and disciplined representative of the Massachusetts Maritime Academy.
We are honored to be marching the parade today.
Now for the parade's grand finale, led by active duty service personnel from the United States Navy, Air Force, and Army Reserve.
Saving the best for last, we are particularly proud and honored to welcome home many of these troops, some of whom have just recently returned from their overseas deployments.
These soldiers, sailors, and airmen are marching today in honor of the more than 6,600 service members who have died while serving in Afghanistan and Iraq.
It is truly humbling to have them with us, and we are forever grateful for the sacrifices made by this generation of military heroes. Thanks to all who have served, and to the fallen, we will never forget. We'll be back with the conclusion of this year's parade in just a few seconds.
Every year, on one day, we stop to remember. We honor every man and woman who has made the ultimate sacrifice for this nation. We pay tribute to all of those who have fallen in the line of duty. We salute their courage and the price they have paid. We celebrate the freedoms they have protected. We stand with the wounded and those who serve on the front lines today. We make sure their legacy is never forgotten. This year, help us honor and support all American veterans at the National Memorial Day Parade. Visit AmericanVeteransCenter.org to make a donation and help guard the legacy, the honor, and the sacrifice of all American veterans.
Welcome back to our coverage of the National Memorial Day Parade. Joining this very special grand finale are the parade's most honored guests, hundreds of family members of fallen service members. They are here as part of the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors, also known as TAPS. And these families are walking to remember their loved ones who served in the U.S. military and died.
The TAPS motto is remember the love, celebrate the life, and share the journey. These families are walking today to honor their loved ones and to celebrate their lives, so please welcome them warmly. They are truly what Memorial Day is all about. Thanks so much for watching today. It has been a completely inspirational day, and we'd also like to thank all of the veterans, parade marchers, and particularly the volunteers.
Absolutely, and a special thank you to the American Veterans Center and all of the sponsors. And Kirsten?
This has been a tremendous honor for me to be here with you today. I've had a wonderful time. Back to you.
To those of you serving in harm's way, please stay safe, and thank you so much for your service.
We hope to see you right back here next year on Constitution Ave. Goodbye, everyone.